Traders, is it necessary for you to follow other successful traders and watch what they're doing in order for you to find your edge in trading? And we'll go to the charts to look at micro treasury yield futures and treasury futures. Let me take you to this week's NinjaTrader Charting Edge. Traders, each and every week I talk about technicals and where I'm potentially seeing edge heading into the coming week. This week I'm going to change it up a little bit. I want to talk about choosing the right product for your strategy, specifically for trading interest rates. Many of you know I've talked a ton this year about the launch of micro treasury yield futures at CME Group. And I want to point out, I think, an important difference between the micro treasury yield futures and the treasury futures. Let me take you to the charts. I have the micro 10-year yield futures up here. This symbol is 10Y. Remember, there are 4 micro treasury symbols: 2YY, 5YY, 10Y, and 30Y. We're going to talk about the 10-year because this is pretty much the most looked at of the yield curve. So here we are with the micro 10-year yield futures. Same old with the indicators: 20 period, 3 standard deviation, Bollinger Bands. Red is the 10-day simple moving average, blue is the 20-day simple moving average. Not going to talk really about what I'm seeing technically in this market right now, but I want to point out something very important. Because we had the previous 10-year treasury market and we have the ultra 10-year markets available for futures trading, when they launched the micro 10-year yield futures, a lot of people thought they were going to be a micro of that product. That is not the case. This is specifically the yield. See, in the past, us as traders, if we thought interest rates were going up in the 10-year, we would have to get short the 10-year futures or the 10-year ultras. Now that has changed. If I think rates are going up, I could get long the micro 10-year yield futures. As you can see here, the pricing is very different than the treasuries, the 10-year futures, or the 10-year ultra. This is showing the percentage of what that yield is. So if you think that the 10-year yield is going to go up, you would get long this product. If you think the yield is going to go down, you would get short this product. Once again, that's very different than what we as bond traders and treasury traders in the past are used to. And I love this for new futures traders because if you think rates are going up, you don't have to think, well, do I have to get short the 5-year or the 10-year or the 30-year or the 2-year? No, you can go right to the micro product and you can look at it. Long means up in interest rate, short means down in interest rate. Let's just take a quick look at the 10-year futures. Here we are at the 10-year note future symbol ZN. Same old with the indicators, although the indicators really don't matter in this week's NinjaTrader Charting Edge. More about understanding which product is best for you to trade. Now, when you look at the 10-year futures, you can see they're trading roughly 130 even, right? This is very different than what the micro treasury 10-year futures were trading. Remember, I talked about how they were in basis points. 1.5% roughly was where the 10-year was. Long if you think rates are going up, short if you think they're going down. It's the opposite on this contract and actually would be opposite on the 10-year ultra contract. So when you look at this chart here, this is going to be different in how you would execute. If you think rates are going up and you want to use the 10-year note futures, then you're going to get short this product. If you think rates are going to go down, you're going to get long this product. Now, this product is not based specifically on the yield like the micro treasury, which is why I like that micro treasury contract for all traders that just want to trade the yield. So you see, traders, it's not always about technicals. Although we do talk about that and we do love our technicals on this show. A big part of your edge is also knowing which product should I use to trade my strategy. You know I love reading your questions and your comments on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube, of course. This week I'm taking a question from Aaron from Twitter. Aaron said, I'd be curious to know from a pit trader how important it was to visually see how a successful trader traded. I feel many struggle today in isolation as they don't have a frame of reference for what a true pro looks like when they're in a trade. I commented and said, great question. It was more to me than just seeing the different styles of traders and how they were successful. It was about how they operated as traders. I learned many lessons from seeing successful traders that helped me as a trader. I will do a video of this in my next shoot. So here we are. Aaron, thank you so much for the question. Let me take you to some important bullet points that I learned from watching successful traders. One of the most important things I learned from watching successful traders operate was how they operated as a business owner. We forget that this is a business. Nowadays, you just open up an account and you're trading within 24 hours. When I first started, there was a long process to become a trader. I had to pass a test. I had to go through membership. I had to go through a lot of hoops to be able to become a trader. Nowadays, we're a trader overnight. And we don't look at it like a business the way that we did when we first started on the trading floor. So one of the most important things I learned from watching all of those traders when I was in the S&P 500 pit was they all operated their business, how they conducted themselves, not only in the pit, but when they left. It was amazing to me to see how organized all of them were. It seemed so chaotic when you all saw that on the TV if you weren't on the floor. And you probably wondered, well, how do we operate? Well, we operated because everybody was so organized. Each trader, each broker came into each day fully prepared. How they operated their business was one of the first things I looked at and said, this is more than just me coming in and trading and finding places on a chart to buy and sell. This is about how I operate from top to bottom in this business. So that was one of the first things that I noticed seeing successful traders is how they operated. Next, I quickly learned that no two traders are the same. One thing that I learned from watching all of these successful traders was they were all different. It was amazing to me to see a pit in the S&P, 500 plus people in there, and almost every single trader had a different strategy. Even the ones that had similar strategies were very different. So I learned that no two traders are the same. So why would I try to be like another trader? Today, so many traders try to be like other traders because they think one trader is successful, that means that they will be successful. I could tell you this. I stood next to some of the most successful traders in the world, and I still lost money. Why? Because I didn't have my own identity. No two traders are the same. So why would I try to be like someone else if I already know that? So when you were learning from other successful traders, you still have to understand that it has to be yours. Something may resonate with you from one trader or another trader, but in order for it to work for you, you have to bring that in, internalize it, and you have to believe in it. You have to be confident in it because it's up to you to execute it. You are your edge. Now, if you know that there are no two traders that are the same, then you realize that you are your edge. In today's markets, so many people search for edge. They search for technical edge because that's visually what we can see. And they think because somebody has technical edge, statistical edge, that they will make money. Yeah, that's probably true. If you were going to be a systematic trader and you found statistical edge in the market, you will probably make money. But if you want to be a day trader and operate as a business, as an independent discretionary trader, you have to understand that you are your edge. Because what? Everything works sometimes and nothing works all the time. And by me watching all of these successful traders, what I identified was that they were their edge. Their confidence in what they were doing is what made them special. Edge is more than statistical, it's mental, it's physical. Being around successful traders, you learn a lot about routine. What do they do when they wake up? What do they do right before they begin the day? What do they do in the middle of the day? What do they do at the end of the day? What do they do at night? We were around traders 24/7 pretty much. Obviously, we all went home at night, but I was around so many traders that became good friends of mine that I understood that routine had become an essential part of their success. So it's not just statistical, although that is important, especially in today's age where everything is electronic trading. It's about mental. You guys all know I talk a lot about trading psychology. I do a ton of shows on working on mental edge. It's also physical. Working out, mind and body works together. So many of the successful traders that I work with had a consistent physical routine. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And the ones that didn't have that physical routine, they did other things away from trading to create what? Balance. You guys have probably heard me say, it's not about work hard, play hard. It's about work hard and play easy. You need to find balance. And when I was around all those successful traders, the most successful ones all had balance. Execution. Know when to be big, small, or not at all. How many times have you heard me say that on this show and on Futures Radio Show podcast? I would say from a technical basis, from an execution side of things, this is the most important thing that I learned. Understanding position sizing. I would watch the biggest traders in the S&P 500 bid even on one, trying to buy one contract, to all of a sudden going one even on 100. They go from a one lot to a 100 lot. Why? Because the situation was different. Sometimes it calls to be small. Sometimes it calls to be big. And sometimes they wouldn't be saying anything. So I learned that it wasn't just about my strategy, finding the perfect strategy, because psychologically, that's what we all look for when we start to trade is what's the best strategy? It's about being the best executor of that strategy and understanding position sizing, when you need to be really big and be aggressive, and when you need to lay back and be small or not at all. As you can tell, a lot of these key things that I've learned from successful traders are instinctual, not technicals, not fundamentals. Instincts on how to be a successful trader. Well, I wrote an ebook on this. 9 Essential Instincts for Successful Trading. If you want to download that ebook, you could do so right here. This goes over in detail some of the most important things I learned from other traders and things I developed myself to become a successful trader. Is it necessary in today's electronic trading world to see how other successful traders are trading to help you get an edge as a trader? What did I talk about today? To me, what's important is understanding how they conduct their business, their routines, how they really are going about their day-to-day business as a trader. To me, that's what I learned the most from other traders. When it comes to technicals or fundamentals, those are things that we can learn on our own. We can learn through other traders. But the one key takeaway I will always say from being around successful traders is understanding their mindset, understanding that they are their edge, understanding that there are no two traders the same. So to me, I think it's important to surround yourself around other successful traders. But if you can't, you can find other chat rooms or other things and learn different tidbits from those traders. But once again, remember, in order to become a successful trader, it has to come from within inside you. Remember, traders, Micro Ether Futures are now live at CME Group. To learn more about Micro Ether Futures, go to cmegroup.com. Final thoughts for today, traders. Remember, no matter what you learn from other successful traders, it comes down to you and what you do as a trader. Now, it is the holiday time of the year. And I put this tweet out the other day. 23 years ago, I entered the holiday season, closing out my first year of trading. I was broke and working multiple jobs to pay bills and stay in business as a trader. Because of the pressure of the holidays and trading, I had an anxiety attack at 21 years old, the first of many. This was just one of the many setbacks in my career, and like most of them, it was self-induced. The amount of pressure we put on ourselves is a choice. We all want things we don't have right now, and that's okay. Be grateful where you are and give yourself the gift of time this Christmas. I go back to my first year of trading. Broke, went through all the money that I had saved, working multiple jobs, and not making any money as a trader. It was a very difficult time for me. Many of you may be there right now, or you've been there, so you understand this. But there's one thing that I did then that I really learned a couple of years down the road was that I don't need the results today. I put so much pressure on myself because I wanted to win today. I wanted today to be what I wanted for my whole career. And my mind was lost in time because I was thinking only about the present. I didn't think about the future. And I've said several times before on this show, if you think long-term, your short-term results will get better. That's why I said, give yourself the gift of time this Christmas. Understand that What you did this year, you did the best you could. Going into next year, do the best you can and give yourself that amount of time. Don't need results right now. Set yourself up for results down the road, and your shorter term results will be better for it. Traders, I want to hear from you. Did you enjoy today's show? Leave me a message down below. Did you not like today's show or any of the shows? Leave me a comments down below. It's important that I hear from you, the traders. As we close out 2021, I appreciate so many of the comments and the questions that I got from all of you, and I'm looking forward to a great 2022 on Develop Your Edge. So keep those questions and those comments coming. Never miss an episode of Develop Your Edge. Hit that subscribe button. You could also DM me on Twitter at Anthony Crudele. Don't forget to check out Instagram. Really just a whole bunch of stuff going on Instagram that I don't have on any of my other social media channels. So be sure to check out Instagram at Anthony C. Crudele. That's our wrap for 2021, everybody. I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. See you next year.